Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We're going to talk about some triage today, just not in the normal sense of it. This is similar to the Nestmuck trio, maybe we could say, but just different. It's not the Nestmuck trio, but it's just a three kind of tool option deal for crafting. And this is what I like to kind of base my stuff on, and then you can swap it up however you see fit. I don't have any choppers with me though, because for what I'm gonna kind of talk about, there's not a ton of heavy material prep that we're gonna need to do. So I'm not talking about firewood prep or anything like that. I'm just talking about some simple crafting stuff, making a fishing pole or a candle holder or a Bushcrafter time machine or something like that. Just some tool options to do some crafting with. And we'll start with the saws. So any type of saw, it doesn't even have to be a folding saw. It can be one of the silkies. There's a bunch of cool folding silkies too. Corona makes some good saws. Something that you can saw with is going to be one of the options. And that being said, these have saws on them also that actually work pretty good on smaller materials. These saws are pretty friggin' sharp, but you can accomplish what you're trying to do a lot faster with one of these. And you'd be surprised how much you can do with this and not having a chopper or axe. If you don't need one, like if it's where I live in the spring and summertime, it's machete time. But if it's in the wintertime and I'm going to be processing some stuff, if I get to the point where it's bigger for my saw to handle, I'm not going to use it most times. But if it's something I just need to split down, I have some smaller axes. I like a boy's axe, something kind of small, but I can process rounds with it. For the most part, this is going to handle my stuff. Yeah, be careful with it, because these things will cut you every bit as bad as a knife will if you're not careful. So practice with them. But in addition to a saw, I like a Swiss Army knife. Now there's a ton of different types of knives that you can use. Any kind of pen knife or small carver, a little Barlow, or there's the open nail. So many different options. Just something small that's fairly agile that you can carve with. I like a Swiss Army knife because, as well as a good blade. So both of these have this same size blade on it. It's got a few other tools. It's got scissors. But when you're getting your craft on, you'll find that this reamer or awl is one of the best ones of any tool like this that you can get. The Alox version is crazy effective. And this is the one that's on the hiker or a camper. It's maybe a camper. It's different, but it will still put a hole in wood, just not nearly as efficient as this one will. There's can openers on there too, but that stuff is not really necessary for the bushcraft stuff. The awl is super nice, and it's a one-piece kind of thing, but even one with a little small blade, as long as you can process some material and be relatively tedious with it, do some fine work, pocket knife will cover that. And this dude, either one, size doesn't, it does matter really, but in this situation it doesn't. For heavier carving tasks, so making maybe dimensional pieces or stuff that you're just going to have to process a fair amount of material with, instead of using the Swiss Army knife, it's just easier if you use a fixed blade. And it could be either one of these guys or 100 different variations thereof. All these have different kits on them, so that's, I can't really count the kit as being on all of the dang, what would you say? You guys don't have the kits on them, so I can't really include those extra pieces. We'll just stick with the primary cutting tools. I'm gonna, if I'm doing a lot of woodworking, I'm gonna lean more towards Scandi. Either both of these, Scandi or full flat. This is a full flat. Is gonna process materials better, in my opinion. I think a Scandi is superior to other grinds when it comes to doing woodwork. But you can mix and match. So if you used your saw to process down to a certain size, and then maybe you want to split it a little bit, so you take and you tap your pronghorn through to get it a certain dimension that you want it. And after you've hogged off some big pieces with this, then you can take your Swiss Army knife and, you know, make the edges friendly or put you a hole in it. Think I made some incense holders the other day, so it's just a flat. It's like a stick like this with a hole in one end, but it's a lot bigger, of course. But you can do pert near all the crafting that you want with a trio like this. So a pronghorn, that would be crazy effective right there. But like I said, you can mix and match any of these things and still be able to process just about whatever you want. I'm gonna, in my opinion, this is probably, I've liked the Bush Baby for a long time, but I'm starting to use the pronghorn more. I'm gonna, if it's not a full flat Bush Baby, this 01 pronghorn is probably one of my favorite LT Wrights. But the pronghorn is Swiss Army Knife Farmer X and a Baco Laplander. This one, it's the same thing as the green one, just happens to be orange. Is a primo kit for me personally. It's up to you guys, you know, brands and stuff. There's a million of them. Of course, you know, LT makes wonderful stuff. The Swiss Army knife doesn't have to be a Swiss Army knife. It doesn't have to be a Baco, as long as it works for you. You know, you don't want something that's, you know, going to fall apart on you. It's not safe. So keep that in mind. But other than that, as long as you can get out and do your things, whatever you can make work, make it work. Again, this isn't your classic trio, so to say. Normally it would be a knife, folding knife, and an axe. That's what the Nesmux was. But like I said, the knives aren't, or the axes aren't crazy necessary in doing crafting things. You can easily put this, you know, if this is on your belt and this is in haversack, and you can rock and roll with all of your other stuff. It doesn't have to be big old, you know, 36-inch cruiser or some big chopper, or machetes too. But there's arguments that can be made. The machete can perform the same tasks this and this can. So it's tough. Everybody's got different opinions on things, but in my humble opinion, I think 3 items: a saw, a folding knife or Swiss Army knife, and a belt knife will get you where you want to be. And then just practice, practice, practice. But anyway, I had been wanting to talk about this for a little while. There's some other things for this you can check out on Instagram. It's over on my page at Bushcraft Kelso. But yeah, appreciate the support, y'all. You can check out all the other content creators on LT Wright's channel. They got all kind of stuff going on, about 9 million things like myself. But again, we appreciate the support, and we'll talk with y'all later. Bushcraft Trios. Later.